Jesus Christ, what the fuck? There'll be no music due to copyright issues at this point. This image clearly tells us from his hat that he's a member of DedSec, because it does say DedSec on his hat, though it might not be very clear. As you can see here, the signature weapon of Marcus Holloway will in fact be that ball thing attached to the string, which is very interesting. It's a very abstract weapon. I've never seen it used before in a game, so it's going to be very unique. And from the gameplay that we've seen so far, it looks very, very effective and very fast-paced, so it might be a fast-paced game. The fuck is with this bitrate? But anyway, he's supposed to be doing like a side flip here to show that the parkour is more expanded on and more useful. Besides from what is a very flattering groin shot, I mean, it's obvious that the parkour is very useful. And why is he it seems to be hopping through like files and stuff, so I'm assuming that he's a really, really skilled hacker and he just speeds through it all like he speeds through his parkour stuff. So I rolled this bit because I want to point out that there's an extra mission for pre-order bonus, which is called Zodiac Killer. Now, if you don't know about the Zodiac Killer was in fact a murderer during the 1970s and 60s in San Fran Bay area of the United States. So that's very interesting. I wonder what that's going to be about. Probably a copycat of sorts, but who knows. I just want to say that wow, the Golden Gate Bridge in this cinematic looks like it's going to play a major part in the game somehow. I feel as if there's going to be a mission on it.
Houses are calibrated to anticipate your every need.
You're listening to Rock the Grid.
This game has given me a completely and utterly different vibe to what Watch Dogs 1 gave me from the trailers, so I'm really excited to see exactly what's going down here, and it's really intriguing me. LMAO VR porn. Seems like NPCs are going to be doing some very interesting things in the background, but then again, they were supposed to do that in Watch Dogs and it didn't quite work out. Obviously, DedSec has seen some rejuvenation here, and it's been revived in a way, maybe? Who knows? This guy is best anime. The details on this guy, like the beard, man. I mean, I know it's not gameplay, it's cinematic, but Jesus, maybe if it looks anything like that, that'd be cool. I suppose it's hindering at the point that things are going to look very interesting and realistic. So the reveal told us information that we will be able to fly a drone and control a drone that flies and control a buggy on the ground as well, which is very interesting, but they put them both in the same shot to show us really quickly, which I found to be quite clever. I love this immersive selfie feature that you yourself as the player can sort of participate in when playing the game. Is this hinting at the fact that we might be getting safe houses, or is that not a thing? Someone let me know what you think on that one. Okay, so the first thing that pops to mind is that we're getting a much more humorous vibe here. So unlike Aiden, who didn't really make jokes, I feel as if the characters in this are going to make a lot of jokes, and there's going to be a lot of comedic moments, and there's going to be quite a few one-liners and very interesting sarcastic bits, such as this one. So you can clearly see here that the character's name is Marcus Holloway, but it's really blurred. We can't see any more of his identification other than the fact that he's being monitored by CTOS. To a point I alluded to less than a minute ago, I feel as if the vibe is going to be very humorous and sarcastic, and this seems like a very sarcastic pose because he's not obviously giving a damn. He doesn't seem to be frowning or smiling. He just seems to be very sort of indifferent about it, and he's just doing it badass and sort of casual, so it's very sarcastic. Because who wouldn't want horse mask in the game? Like, I hope that the customization's a thing so you can go around in a horse mask if you want. However, drunken raves in a horse mask is the best thing I have seen all day, and this is the best thing. By far, one of the most interesting things in this trailer, the fucking horse masks. No, it's a really good trailer, and this is definitely a great thing. It's funny as well. Obviously, our character Marcus is a trained freerunner, and he knows exactly how to land stuff and how to do things, so he's definitely experienced. I don't know why, but something's very amusing about public television being hacked, and it's not involving being spanked and stuff by that, like that, whatever his name was, that. I don't know what it was, but that in the 80s. This guy looks like he might be an arms dealer or a gang member, but I reckon they're arms dealers or pirates of sorts. Pirates within the city, or maybe it's something else. They could be gang members, or they could be enemies, but they could be arms dealers, and that's probably my best guess, is it's an arms deal or something. Who can say where the road goes? Hopefully the open world is as bright as this in the day, because it's a warmer location than Chicago, and it's definitely going to be warmer in colours as well. Who knows? This is suggesting to me that DedSec are seen locally and globally as some form of heroes or something. Well, they're very anti-heroic in the original Watch Dogs game, not really getting involved directly, but it seems as if they're going to have more direct involvement in the events of Watch Dogs 2, because of course the main protagonist is a member of DedSec, so maybe we'll be seeing some information about that later on. I feel as if a moral issue that's going to be touched down on in the game is going to be poverty itself, because Not a New Dawn seems like something that you'd come out, say, if you're in poverty. I don't know, it just seems very interesting, and I hope that it's expanded on in the game. There's hacking information out of these things, then there's just saying fuck it and stealing the entire thing, which is fucking amazing, by the way. Now this factors into the humour, like I mentioned earlier. It seems to be very sarcastic humour, because he got those guys to crash, and then he sped off and pulled a wheelie. I don't know if the wheelie to add momentum or whatnot, but it feels as if it's just to show off and show sarcasm, like, haha, get wrecked, scrub. Okay, this laptop has shown up several times. Maybe it's going to play a major part in the game itself, and maybe you'll be able to use it to control drones and stuff. So obviously the story is going to focus on the dawn of DedSec, or maybe it's the rejuvenation of DedSec, but either way, it's very interesting, and this is very interesting and shows us something. It shows us the DedSec is rising. Okay, so I saw this twice, this Join Us thing, and I thought maybe we'll be seeing a Brotherhood-like approach to things, where basically you'll be able to get some recruits, train them up, and have a gang of sorts, maybe like in Syndicate, or maybe like in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where you can call on them to help you in sticky situations and stuff like that, which would be very interesting depending on how it's executed. Now, this visually looks achievable in the final game, so hopefully they won't downgrade this. It doesn't look that bad, it doesn't look too special, but it shows off the skyline of San Francisco, and it's definitely not a bad image. I'm going to assume that this is real, but the flags actually move dynamically. I'm assuming this is real as in this is actual gameplay, because they're talking about the world, but the flags are actually dynamic, and that's a really nice feature. Okay, so this is a really nice view. Like, it's really beautiful, quite pretty, and the sun glare, like, a few moments later is also quite nice. So the gist of atmosphere that I'm getting is it's going to be very different from the original Watch Dogs game. Like, everything seems different, more colourful, everything's brighter, more vibrant, everything is more diverse. It's very diverse because different areas look different, different colours, everything. It's not all just like what seems like black, white and grey. So non-human animals is another feature added in by this game, because in Watch Dogs you could probably, I don't even know if there are birds, it was just humans. So there are non-human animals in this, such as seals and dogs. Yes, there are actually dogs in Watch Dogs, a point that I'll expand on later on if I can find it, or if I can remember to do so. But this is definitely a cool thing, and I hope that they do this, like, or continue with it. This dank lad is walking his dog. Another thing touched down on in this reveal is that random events may happen, like people pulling the police on each other, getting arrested, dogs chasing people, and fights breaking out on the streets, which aren't the most impressive as seen here, as they randomly seem to move not very much and it seems more like GTA-like, but they don't seem very realistic, but it's okay. The colour itself on the Golden Gate Bridge is the most gorgeous thing I've seen so far in this trailer. It is beautiful, the lighting shimmering off, the colour of it all, it's just brilliant, it's beautiful, it's lovely. I've slowed it down so I can have a perfect talk about it, and it looks perfect, and hopefully they don't downgrade this, because this is really nice, and hopefully there'll be some interesting missions on the Golden Gate Bridge, and it might even make for a really nice place to end the game. Say at the top there'll be like an ending or something, and someone falls off or some shit, I don't know. The three major companies that don't seem to be your friends are Bloom, Invite, and Noodle. Now, they don't seem to be your friends. To me, this looks like concept art. From this concept art, you can clearly see that they're trying to paint light on the gritty side of San Francisco in this time. Okay, so first of all, this view is amazing, and another thing I'd like to mention is that the movement seems to be a lot more casual in this game than in Watch Dogs 1. It seems to be more fluid. This concept art seems to show us the gritty side of town as well, and it looks very interesting. I just want to point out, this guy has the coolest beard I've ever seen in my entire life, ever. Now, the parkour and free running here has taken the crown for the most interesting thing in this trailer, or in this reveal, and a total, because it looks so good. Like, it's taken the ground because it looks so beautiful, and it's so lovely, and it looks so much more accessible than in previous Watch Dogs game, which was Watch Dogs 1, and it's the only one. But it looks so much better, sorry. It looks so much better, and the combat looks better, more makeshift, because he's got that ball swinging testicle thing. So overall, I just think it's just really, really nice looking, very fluid. They've obviously done a lot of research into this stuff and found DIY weapons and stuff to use, and they've come up with this ball attached to rope thing, and now they're going to beat stuff to death with it, and it's going to be very, very, very interesting to see exactly how that goes. But the parkour is the bit that I wanted to talk about the most, because those backflips, front flips, etc. was so interesting, and the combat here, it just looks so fast-paced, so very in line with the character's parkour skills, and it looks like it's going to be a much faster paced game than Watch Dogs 1. And it seems like this makeshift weapon is also good for stealth as well, which is always a bonus. Man, this concept art is outstanding. Look at it. It just paints it so well. It looks lovely. Okay, this bit just added comedic value like before. I expect there's going to be a lot of humour in this game. Apparently another focus in the game is going to be dank memes. So you know how that's going to go, guys. Lovely day. So this is giving me the impression that DedSec's going to be more directly involved and more rebellious towards the government and such. So another thing that's interesting is that you can literally hack everything besides from trees. So everything technological, so cars, you can make them move, you can plant bombs to them, make them move and explode on things, you can hack everyone at once, you can hack people, you can basically hack everyone and stuff like that. It just seems very interesting and overall a very nice feature, and evolve hacking, so the hacking is more evolved and you can control things a little bit more in the hack, and it's more in depth. This makes for some interesting gameplay. The world looks very damn alive in this. Like, I'm just saying, the world looks very alive, very fluid, it just looks so good. Now I get to see how the buggies and drones work. So they obviously work on to be able to give surveillance to more accessible locations, but obviously that's going to come with the forfeit of complete stealth, so you're going to be easier to notice, and dogs might notice you and stuff, and with the drone itself, it's going to be a lot easier to get an eye in the sky on things, and maybe not be detected so quickly because you're not on the ground right in the field of view. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what you can do with these things in the game, and how much you can and can't get away with. The feature of hacking everyone at once is also very interesting, very overpowered maybe, but also very cool. I like how loud and proud shoot the fuck out of everything is also still an option when playing the game, as well as stealth and using cameras to get a view as well, so you won't be sort of confined to those buggies. You can still use cameras to get a good close-up look, which is good. What's interesting about this is when he drives off, the leaves on the car brush off. That is so good. It's such a good feature. Hopefully the driving in this game is better than it is in the first Watch Dogs game, because in the first Watch Dogs game it's quite clunky, quite hard to like keep control, so hopefully in this game it's a lot easier to control and a lot easier to drive with, and if that's a thing then that's good, because the driving severely needs improving from Watch Dogs 1, so hopefully this game does get it right, and that will be really cool if they could do that. Apparently this game has some ridiculously pointless multiplayer features, such as dancing with your friend on the street while everyone's watching you while you're online instead of doing stuff, but that's actually quite interesting, quite fun, and an interesting interaction if you're not in a party with them, or say on a Skype call or anything, so you can interact with them without having to do that. And that honestly is quite fun, not necessarily mandatory, but it's there and it's there to use. And then you can go co-op with them and stuff, which is going to be very interesting to see how that works. Maybe one in a drone, one actually in the field, but how it's going to work, that's really interesting. Another thing that is necessary for Watch Dogs 2 is definitely the advanced boat AI. But no, the boat, this looks really interesting. The sailing in it, it looks really nice, really calming. Whoa, pointless selfie feature as well. What is it with people in San Francisco is dressing up as that? But at least you get to pet dogs. Yes, that's a good thing. And race people in yachts and do whatever the hell you want with hacking Bloom and stuff like that. Overall, my favourite feature thus far is this parkour move here alone. That is my favourite feature. That wraps it up for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead and like, subscribe, share, comment. Tell me what you've noticed down below if I've missed something out. And be sure to subscribe and tell me what your favourite feature is that you've seen in this so far. And I'll see you all next time. See ya. So, yeah.